Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jojo here. Had a great time on Joe TV. Hope you guys check out the episode and follow and subscribe.
Welcome to My First Time, the show about your first time getting high on marijuana. I'm your host, Mike Freeman with Joe TV. Today, I'd like to welcome our guest, Jojo. How are you?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Very well. This episode might air in several days, but we're recording it the day after your birthday. So happy birthday, Jojo.
Yay. Thank you very much. Birthday blunt right here.
Birthday blunt. There you go. I'm sure that's not the first birthday blunt. So
No, it's not.
excellent. You can find more of Jojo on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at Say Hi Jojo. All the links will be in the description below, as well as her LINKTREE. So definitely go there, give her a follow, and check her out. Jojo, thanks again for giving us some time today. Let everybody know where you're located and a little bit about what you got going on in the cannabis world.
Okay, well, like I said, my name is Jojo. I'm here in Miami, Florida, and I am a social media influencer. I try to be in the community and talk about different events and bring about destigmatization in the community. I focus mainly on women and people of color because we're destigmatized so much, and we have a very big impact in this community when it comes to cannabis relations. And a lot of people don't realize that. And, we're really trying to go against, the alcohol moms. Canna moms are good too. So
Sure.
that's my main focus right there.
Yeah, not to say anything bad about alcohol moms, but I mean, cannabis moms, you're way more functional on cannabis than
For sure.
shit-faced drunk, let's say. Okay. So
Yes, no, I can't.
Jojo, we definitely want to talk more about your cannabis influencing and a lot about what you've got going on in the community, some events you have upcoming. But the show is My First Time. We want to know about the first time you got high, Jojo.
Oh my gosh. My first time is actually very freaking embarrassing. So I was in high school, and it was during a time when I did not, I wasn't about cannabis. I was smoking cigarettes, I'll be honest. And I didn't approve of cannabis at the time, but my friends did, and so did one of the guys that I had a very big crush on. It was like an early release day from school, and we're all at my friend's house, and they had nothing to roll with. They had the buds, but nothing to roll with. And one of the guys took, forgive me, guys, they took the Bible and they took the first page out of the Bible, that very blank white page that nothing's on, and ripped it out and ran into the bathroom, and they rolled a joint. And my friend was in the corner crying because it was her Bible. She was all Christian. And we were just like feeling so bad for her, but we're like, we want to smoke though. We eventually get it rolled and we go into the community pool bathroom. So it is literally 6 people deep in this small 8x8 bathroom, just sitting in a circle with Lil Wayne on, just vibing. And after smoking a little bit, I look over, my friends are in the corner singing Fireman with the lighter in the air. We finish smoking, we go to the pool, and I feel different. I don't know how to explain how I'm feeling, but it was just like a light, floaty feeling where it was like I was invincible. So I tried walking along the edge of the pool to see if I could stay still, kind of like doing a sobriety test for me. And yeah, it was just a very fun time. It lasted a while. I probably will admit that. Walking back home by the lake, not probably not very smart.
Okay.
while you're on your first times high, because we're in Florida. They got alligators in these lakes, and I could have swore I saw one, and I freaked out and ended up having my friend having to carry me on his back to get home. But that was my first time, and I've had better experiences since.
That doesn't sound like too bad of an experience. Did you pass the sobriety test? Did you not fall in the pool?
I did not fall in the pool. No, that was good. I didn't do that, but I did fall on the concrete, but the opposite way.
That's a sobriety test. It'll wake you up. It'll
Either
definitely,
way, it would wake me up, you know.
yeah, either
Full
way.
concrete, you know, you're waking up.
What you smoking on now? What do you got there?
Honestly, I have no idea. I am out of rec. So we do what we do when we're out of rec and we go to the corner store. I'm just kidding. No, for real though. I am out of rec, so I have no idea what I'm smoking on right now. But earlier I did have some stuff from Beta Can and I do have a little bit of wax from Liberty Health Sciences.
Okay,
So I'm always in a dispensary and getting new things and trying different strains. That's something that I really try to pride myself on is to be up to date with the new strains.
excellent. So you were rolling the blunt up before we started recording. Uh, you blunt girl, dabs, edibles. What's your
I
flavor?
I am a blunt girl. I love
Okay.
my blunts. I do. I am slowly coming into the dabs where I'll take, a dab, in the morning or the night. Edibles is every now and then, like rarely, I'll take an edible, but for sure, this is my bread and butter. Dutch Masters should sponsor me because I use them so much.
Hey, we
The
always
amount of videos that I've done comparing Dutch Masters to Grabba or Backwoods is, like I said, they should sponsor me.
yeah, send her a box, please. 100. At
Send
least
me a
send her some, you know.
yeah,
Uh,
please.
we used to smoke the Doodoo Brown Dutchies and the Garcia Vegas. Back in the day when you had to take the leaf off, break out the middle,
I hate
and
that.
now it's a lot easier with the way they sell them. But yeah, they were too much for my iron lungs. Blunts every day were just, I'm 40, so it's a lot of years, a lot of mileage on this pair of lungs here. But so let's talk about how you got into becoming an influencer and wanting to help the cannabis community.
That was actually by chance. Just like everybody else during the pandemic, I went on TikTok and I just had my second child and I was just having fun on there while, being home on maternity leave. And as I started smoking again, I started doing little funny videos here and there about it and just seeing the audience just like driving out to it. They were relating with what I was talking about, the comedy that I was doing. And eventually I just completely immersed myself in just straight 420 content. And I grew to 82,000 followers really, really quickly.
Wow.
Um, thank you. So when I got to around last year, last Dab Day was when I went to my very first Dab Day event here in Miami. It was my very first official event in the cannabis scene, where I linked up with the Pot Smoking Moms, which is another podcast here in Miami. I met them on TikTok and they kind of like introduced me to a couple people, got me into telling me about the different events that were going on. And I just started going to conferences. I just started going to the conferences, getting to know people. I made business cards, that said, "Hey, I'm a Canna advocate, and this is my social media page, and I can help you guys out with, ending the deforestation." Because I would see so many women that would message me and say, "Your videos helped me, make me feel like I'm not alone, that I'm not bad for wanting to smoke a blunt because I've had a long day at work." You know, or if my kid is pissing me off, I can say, okay, mom needs a break and go take a break for 5 minutes.
Sure.
They related with that. And that once I saw that not only was I getting it on social media, but also in person from random people that would stop me in the middle of the street that saw my videos, I was like, I think I have an impact here, you
Yeah.
know? So I really wanted to do that. And I started just meeting all the other influencers in Florida and just making those connections. And now I would say, in my opinion, I'm pretty much at the same tier as those who have been influencing in Florida since the beginning of medical cannabis. And I just started a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
that just shows like the influence that I have. And I want to keep that going. And especially because I notice a lot of the influencers that are here, they're young. They're Some of them aren't moms. There are a few that are moms, don't get me wrong, but not all of them, you know? And there's also a very small amount of women of color that are in the influencing scene. A lot of the influencers you see are white. Maybe you see a Hispanic person or two, but you never really see a black person, and that's who is being stigmatized in the scene. You know, those black people are the ones that are being criminalized in prisons for cannabis, whereas the white counterparts are able to open all these shops and we can't even get a license to make our own, you know? So I feel like it's a very big time to really like show the social injustice and say, you know, it's it's not cool how it's being viewed in media, you know? When you really look at it, it's like they're more geared to, you know, one race and not the other. So I feel like I need to be there for the other race and say, hey, we're not all lazy. We're just as good contributing members of the society, even though we smoke. You know, we
Yeah.
can be good parents, even though we smoke.
Yeah. I think certainly there's still a stigma. Most of my neighborhood is very diverse: Indian, Black, Chinese. Uh, and it's the older white people. When I walk my dog and smoke a joint, I don't care. Um, I don't have a medical card, but I try to destigmatize by wearing shirts and having conversations. It's usually like, "What's that? What are you doing?" Um, but yeah, I don't know enough older Black people, but if I did, maybe they'd have the same stigma towards it. But I feel like the older generation, maybe late 50s, 60s, 70s, there's still just a stigma around marijuana in general. Um,
True.
and then when you say to them, "Have you tried CBD? Do you know anybody that uses it for medical or?" And then when you start to ask these questions, "Well, yeah, but, okay, have you tried it?" "Well, no, but okay." So, um, and I think the media in general, they don't, Black and white, they still want to make it. What was there? So Kellyanne Conway just made a statement where people there were like 6 deaths from marijuana.
Yeah,
Um,
all the violent killings are marijuana related or
yeah.
whatever.
And then there was some story out of Massachusetts where U.S. Department of Labor did an investigation into someone who died from breathing in the ground flower.
I was just telling my
Um,
fiance about that.
yeah. So I don't know the particulars of the case. But I mean, I'd be curious as to what else is going on and why this story got so much attention because uh, how long have we been doing this? This is the first person who died from ground up weed. I
From
mean, there's
weed in general.
from weed, yeah, breathing it in, not even like inhaling the
Smoking it.
marijuana and dying.
Yeah.
Um, so,
That sounds like chemicals or something like
yeah,
an
was there
issue of
something? Yeah,
chemicals.
yeah. What did somebody spray some kind of ammonia or some cleaning
Yeah.
agent and it reacted? Um, but yeah, I certainly see the media in general, they just don't like it. And I think because most of the media is paid for by the pharmaceutical companies, that's who runs most of their ads. I think
For sure.
this here says antidepressant. They want to run ads for this medication and this pill and take this and talk to your doctor and people like yourself and myself and all those in the cannabis community, we know that this is the real medicine, the stuff that you grow in the ground, the stuff that's been around for thousands of years. And I think it's most of the older generation that watches the TV, and that's probably why there's still a lot of stigma around it. Where I'm 40, I know a lot of my friends, most of them maybe catch some stuff on TV, but for the most part, it's, YouTube's TV. And, they just, not to say everybody likes it, but they know it's not the nonsense they talk about on TV. The fentanyl laced
Yeah.
weed, and I'm like, who the hell's lacing weed with fentanyl?
No, the one I love here every year is make sure to check the candy for because they're giving out edibles and candy. And I'm like, first of all, who's giving out edibles to kids? Because I ain't giving out my edibles to nobody.
Yeah,
Things are
yeah,
expensive.
yeah, yeah. My girl was just reading that it was like her aunt or somebody. Of course, I think this is how it all works, the media propaganda. Now they're saying there's fentanyl laced candy and you need to check the candy. So you, and I'm like, well, how do you check that? What's the
Yeah, you
process
check for
to,
dust. Isn't it like a powder? Like I don't even know.
well, I've asked police, doctors, people that I consider close to experts when it comes to marijuana. And I'm like, how and why do you lace weed with fentanyl? If it's going to kill your customer, it's not a very good business model. You're not going to be successful and last very long when you're killing all your customers.
Exactly.
And uh, my girlfriend, her aunt was like, "That's what they want you to think. These drug dealers, that's how they get people hooked on them." I'm like, okay, first off, you have no idea what fentanyl is if you think you're getting hooked on fentanyl. And second off, if you actually do the research, I think 90% of the fentanyl is made in China and coming in from China. So if anyone's doing anything, it's the Chinese government making this fentanyl and intentionally wanting to kill kids, which I don't think any of that is the case. I think it's all razor blades and candy. I don't know if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who would do this? How do you open a package of candy, stick a razor blade in there, and when you get the candy, you go, "Mom, look at this is already open with a." I mean, uh, so I
Some of the
think
things they say is hilarious.
I think the media plays a big part in the stigmatization of marijuana, and I think we're just on a time cycle right now where certain things need to expire. The legacy media. I'm not saying I want to see older people die, but I think the new generations come in and a lot of these stigmas, whatever it is, they used to get mad at kids dancing swing in the early 19, all these kids in their music. And so I think it's just like generational stuff where the older
Yeah,
people,
I definitely
it's
see
hard
a
for them
shift in it.
to change.
Yeah, there's definitely a shift in it. Like I've noticed in like newer shows and TV show movies, you see a lot more people that are smoking in there, and it's just like just casual, not because they're the typical stoner, just because hey, let me take a drag, it's making it normal,
Right.
and that's what needs to happen. It's just making it normal, like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
You know,
One day soon we'll be there, hopefully, Jojo.
hopefully soon, hopefully very very soon. I'm tired of it.
Yeah. Uh, I certainly have a way of looking at things, and I try to tell my friends that are still paranoid or whatever. I said just live your life, just do it as if it's legal. I'm not saying drive around with pounds of weed and hang out the window smoking f the police, like no, but just act normal, act accordingly, and no one's really gonna do anything at this point. I mean, Dab Day, the Cannabis around here. I mean, it's not legal here in the state of Florida recreationally, but you can go to these events and smoke weed and the cops aren't going to do anything. And
Yep, you can
so
buy, you can sell, you can
absolutely.
do anything.
So for the most part, for the most
It's
part,
legal.
if you just act accordingly, don't make a big deal. I mean, I used to have a buddy, like every time he'd see a cop, he'd like hide. And I'm like, you realize like you're
Yeah, I
drawing
hated
attention to
people like
yourself.
that.
Just
I
pretend like
hated
nothing's
people
going
like that.
on. Yeah. So
Yeah, no, I could not, I couldn't. That was one thing with me is like I was never a paranoid person, and I think that worked out to my benefit because I was just going with the flow. Even when there was times where I would get pulled over for a tail light is out and I have a blunt in the car that I just put out a few minutes earlier. You know, I just made sure, okay, I got my seatbelt on. All right, my license is good. All right, we're good. Ain't got no reason to search my car.
right.
All right, and I've honestly, I'm gonna knock on wood right now as I say it, but I've never been arrested. I don't have any marijuana charges on me. And the only reason why I have my medical card, which I just got 7 months ago, was just for protection, honestly, just for protection with my son's father, just to make sure that if he was to try to come at me and say, "Oh, she's doing this," hey, I have a medical card for it, you don't. So, just to have that protection. I wish it protected from work, but at least it's to me it's worth it. If you're in a situation like I am, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to
I
have
mean,
that sense of mind, like if anything was to happen and you get caught with a vape, the cop can't do nothing because you can have a vape on you. That's
right.
legal as long as you have your medical card.
Right.
So, it is.
We
It's
did an
just,
interview with a girl, Cell, CEL. She goes by Cell, chocolate dip celery. She was in Ocala, got pulled over with a vape pen. She couldn't prove that she got it at a dispensary, and they arrested her, charged her with a felony. Um, she's in the process of getting it expunged. So
it is
uh,
insane.
crazy stuff. Um, and I
Then
was
again,
considering
Ocala.
Ocala as a place to possibly move to in the future, and they got to get their shit together in Ocala. But Jojo, let's talk about some of the events you have coming up that you're going to be at and helping.
Yes, I'm actually getting ready to go to bed right now. It's a puff and picnic that's happening in Miami, hosted by the Cosicaro. That's a little 2-hour event. Should be a little nice. So check out the Instagram for that. The next event that I'm doing is actually a Halloween blunts and brunch in Miami. It's also going to be my official birthday celebration. So the tickets for that is in my Eventbrite's link in my bio. That should be really good as well. It's going to be at a dope location in Miami on October 16th. It's a Halloween event, so there'll be costume contests and prizes and giveaways and swag. It'll be really dope. And the next one that I'm trying to go to is the Pretty High Club event in Orlando at Horsepower Ranch. That one should be really good as well, October 23rd. It's like a 4-hour event, but it's a female only event. And the ladies in the community, like I said, are so strong and we are so vigilant and we really are part of a community. And I really want to help, other people learn about this community. And it's crazy how much people don't know.
Yeah, awesome. And I know we talked about trying to make is it the Dab Day in
Yes, I'm trying to make
Jacksonville?
a Dab Day in Jacksonville for October also, but I just don't know if that's going to happen. And I am in the running for the Canna Feast under the Influence Awards. So if
Yes.
you guys vote for me into the top 5, that would be great. If I get in the top 5, I'll be at that event in November.
Awesome. All the links down in the description below. So definitely go check out future events, voting for Jojo, and make sure
Yep, everything is in the link in my bio. Just go to the LINKTREE and all the links are there.
That's it. Awesome. Jojo, it's been awesome speaking with you, learning more about what you got going on. Thanks again for coming on the show. Let everybody know the best place that they can find you.
Okay, so again, my name is Jojo. You can find me on Instagram at SayHiJojo 2.0 or on Twitter at SayHiJojo. My Twitter, my TikTok is a little bit iffy, but it's SayHiJojo__.
Awesome. And again, all the links down below in the link tree. Click there, and you'll have a plethora of things to follow Jojo on. So thanks again. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you get on there, smash the like button for Jojo. And also you got to be subscribed to Dro TV because you'd miss awesome guests like Jojo. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss guests like Jojo, and go and follow Jojo as well.
Okay.
That's it. We appreciate you coming on. To everybody tuned in, thank you again. We'll catch you on the next episode. And as always, smoke them if you got them.
Thank you for having me.
What's up, Dro TV family? You can now stream the audio version of all these episodes on your favorite podcast player. And if you like more episodes like this, check out this playlist we put together over here for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube. You don't want to miss more great content from Dro TV. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, smoke them if you got them.